Hi folks, David Waring here again with InformedTrades.com and today's lesson of the day. In our last lesson we looked at how many traders incorporate technical indicators as an additional factor they consider when placing their stops. In today's lesson we're going to begin a new phase in our series on money management with a look at how many traders go about taking their profits. Before getting into the details of things such as trailing stops and other methods that traders use to take profits, it's first important to understand some of the psychology behind taking profits. What may come as a surprise to many of you is that just as many traders have problems letting their profits run as they do cutting their losses quickly. To help illustrate this point, I'm going to quote an example or point to an example that Dr. Van K. Tharp gives in his book, Trading Your Way to Financial Freedom, one of my favorite books, or my favorite book actually, on money management. In this book, Dr. Tharp points to a study which was done in which people were offered the chance for either one, a sure $9,000 to be deposited into their bank account, or number two, a 95% chance of $10,000 to be deposited into their bank account and a 5% chance of $0 to be deposited into their bank account. And at the conclusion of this study, what it found was that 80% of the population, given that choice, chose the sure $9,000, even though the second option, the 95% chance of $10,000, represents $500 more on average in the larger gain. And this is a great example which exhibits the psychology behind why many traders fail as it relates to taking their profits off the table too quickly and not being willing to give up some of those profits, wanting to take them quickly. And if you hopefully remember, if you watch my series on the psychology of trading, just as our environment teaches us not to want to take a loss, our environment also teaches us to seize opportunities quickly, or that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, so to speak. A rule which really goes against the number one rule of trading, which is to cut your losses quickly and let your profits run. With this in mind, we can now move on and look at a number of strategies that traders use to overcome some of these psychological difficulties and make sure they put themselves in a position where they let their profits run. The most popular way of doing this probably is what's known as a trailing stop, which in very simple terms is a way that traders move their stop up if they're long in a position and that position begins to move in their favor, or move their stop down if they're short in a position and that position moves in their favor, to either further limit the amount of loss that they're going to take on that position should the market reverse direction, or to lock in some of the profits if they're already in the black on that trade, if the market moves in the opposite direction. If you remember from some of our previous lessons, we've already gone over several methods which could be used to place trailing stops, and one very specific one is the parabolic SAR. So if you've forgotten that lesson or you haven't gone through that one yet, be sure to do that. And in tomorrow's lesson, we're going to go over some of the specific strategies which you can use in combination with some of the other things that we've learned so far to help lock in those profits and overcome some of the psychological difficulties. Put yourself in the successful percentage of traders instead of the large percentage that are unsuccessful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And good luck with your trading.